alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Mr. Abdul Abbas, your economics teacher. How are you at home and your family generally? I hope you are coping with your studies at home. We pray that Allah should increase us in knowledge. So inshallah, we shall look at a new topic. Last time, we have been able to end this discussion on limited liability companies. So inshallah, today we shall start from the topic which is referred to as public corporation. Public corporation. So public corporation is also known as public enterprise or statutory corporation, which may be defined as a large-scale business organization set up, owned and financed by the government of a country, mainly to provide essential services to the members of the public. So looking at this definition, we have been able to know that public corporation, another name that you can use to call it is public enterprise or statutory corporation. So it may be defined as a large-scale business organization. That is, it is large because it involves huge amount of capital to set it up, owned and financed by the government of a country. Unlike all other businesses we have discussed, such as sole proprietorship, partnership, and limited liability company, all those are established by private individuals. But as far as public corporations are concerned, they are established by government of a country or of a state. Not only that, they are meant to provide essential services. So there are some services that a citizen cannot do without those services, and that is why government now goes into such service to be rendering it, so that every citizen in the country will have access to such services. So now they are directly under the control of government to cater for the welfare of the people. So they are directly under the control of government. It's government that's controlling them. So, and the purpose is to ensure that what welfare of the people are catered for. Now, public corporations are run by the government through the tax paid by the government, by the people. So when we say public corporations, they are run by the government. So it is government that is running them, that is financing them. And where they get money, they get the money to finance the business through the tax which are paid by the citizens of the country. So they are established by an act of parliament or decree. When we say an act of parliament is a particular section in the constitution of a country which are drafted by civilian government. So when laws are made under the civilian system of government, we refer to it as act of parliament. We refer to such laws as act of parliament. Well, but when the laws are made by military governments, we refer to it as decree. So mean that if a public corporation is established in the civilian system of government time, it means that we are going to refer to law that establishes it as what? Act of parliament. But when it is established by the time of by military system of government time, it means we are going to refer to the law that establishes them as decree. So that's that. So the public corporation is controlled by board of directors appointed by the government. So government cannot be, it's not possible for government to be running the business. So that's why government now appoint some people to be known, to be referred to as board of directors. They are the one that will supervising the business. So let us now move to examples of public corporations. Examples of public corporations in Nigeria are: one, Nigeria Port Authorities. So NPA, Nigeria Port Authorities. The port services are rendered by the government, not by private individuals. The port services are rendered by government, not private individuals. Then number two, Nigerian Railway Corporation. Railway services are rendered by government also. So, and we call it Nigerian Railway Corporation Not only that, we also have Power Holding Company of Nigeria. So the power or electricity services are also rendered by government. For example now, if electricity services are left for the private individuals to handle, most of Nigerian citizens will not have affordability in buying their services, and that's why government now consider to take it up. Not only that, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), so that is petroleum services, that is the processing of petroleum and ensuring that petrol is made available for the citizens to use, is also being taken over by the government. Then we also have Nigerian Communication Services, Nigerian Communications Commission, and this a parastatal or commission that is supervising the telecommunication industry, such as the firms in telecommunication industry, MTN firm, Glo firm, and some other firms like Airtel firm and some other firms in the world in the telecommunication industry. So, but the government, the authority, the commission that government has established to be monitoring or to be ensuring that what they abide by Nigerian, all these communication services now, all these telecommunication firms, they abide by Nigerian law. It is referred to as Nigerian Communications Commission. So let us now look at the features of public corporation. What are the features? Number one, ownership. When we say ownership, public corporations are owned and financed by the government. We have said this earlier. They are owned and financed by the government through the tax which are paid by the taxpayers, by the citizens of the country. Number two, establishments. Public corporations are established either by decree or out of parliament. So we have said this, that if it is established in military time, in military regime, we call it, the laws that are made at that particular time, we call it decree. But if it is the laws that are made under civilian, we call it act of parliament. Number three, objective. Public corporations are established purposely to provide essential service to the generality of the people. So that is the purpose, to ensure that what essential services such as electricity services, port services, and so on, they are provided for the generality of the what of the people, in order to ensure that what those services are also provided at affordable prices. Not only that, legal entity. Public corporations is a legal entity as it can sue and be sued in its own right. What this means is that in a situation, so legal entity, number four, legal entity is a legal entity as it can sue and be sued. That is, the business, when anyone is drawn to the business, such a business, public corporation can sue under company or under individual that does wrong to it. And also public corporation can also be sued if such person has done anything that's wrong in the society. So not only that, the owner of public corporations, they are distinct from the business. Whenever public corporation does anything, the government that establishes them cannot be sued, because we have said that government, the business is distinct, that is different from its owner. Owners are part, business are part. Their management, public corporations are managed by board of directors who are appointed by the government. So we have said that they are managed by board of directors that are appointed by government. Number six, not profit oriented. We have said that public corporations are established to provide essential services, not for profit making. So they are not meant to be providing, maybe to be making profits when they establish them. For example now, education in Oyo State, all the students that are going to public schools, they are not paying any money to the government. As a result of that, now we don't expect government to make money when the students are not paying school fees. So, and that is why we have said that what the, the public probations are established not to make profit. And that is why, for example, now Nigerian universities they charge lower prices compared to private universities. So just to ensure that, so just to tell us that what in public corporations they are not meant to make profit, and that is why the prices at which they charge on their school fees are lower compared to that of private universities that are charging higher prices on their school fees. Number 7, monopolistic in nature. When you say monopoly, monopoly is a situation in which there is only one seller that is selling a particular good or service in the market. So meaning that there is no any other firm that can compete with such firm in the market. So as far as public corporations is concerned, they are conferred with monopoly power by an act of parliament or decree. That is, when they are establishing them, the law that established them will confer monopoly power on them, that they are the only one that can render such service to the society. So in most cases, so we have some that do not have that monopoly power, and we have some, like for example now electricity, the power generation now is the monopoly power is in the hand of government. So and another service that does not have that monopoly power is education. Both government and private individual can legislate, can establish schools. So number 8, government and taxpayers bear this risk. The risks of the business are borne by the government and the taxpayers who have provided the capital for financing the business. So meaning that it is government and those that are paying tax that will bear the burden. So they are the one that, unlike all other business we have discussed, that the burden are borne by those that have established them. For example, sole proprietorship, the risk or the risk or the burden is borne by the sole proprietor. The risk of partnership is borne by the partners. So like that. But as far as public corporations are concerned, the risks are borne by the government and the taxpayers. The high capital involvement requirements mean that it requires high capital, huge amount of money before public corporations could be established. So let us now look at the merit or advantages of public corporations. Number 1, provision of infrastructural facilities. Public corporations provide infrastructural facilities such as roads, schools, railway, electricity to the populace. So when we look at the services that public corporations are rendering, they are infrastructural facilities. They are the facilities that they are basic to the economy, that economy cannot do without them. For example now, electricity services, good roads. So government has established every corporation just to cater for the rendering of these facilities to society. Not only that, availability of large capital. This will ensure expansion of the enterprises. So from the tax, the money that government is able to generate from the tax now, government is going to get huge amount of money there, and that is why it's possible for government to establish all these businesses, because of their huge amount of money they are involved. Number 3, avoidance of exploitation of consumers. Avoidance of exploitation of consumers. If the service we have been explaining, we have been given as examples, such as electricity, such as motorable roads, are left to be provided by private individuals, they are going to be charging huge amount of money on it. Exorbitant prices are going to be charged on it, and that's why governor considers to take all those services up. Number four, provision of employment opportunities. So government is providing these public corporations They are establishing them just to ensure that what employment opportunities are available for its citizens in the country. Not only that, number five, enjoyment of large scale production. Government provides in higher quantities, and by this now it now be easier for the prices to what to be reduced. So when goods are produced in large quantities, it will make the price to come down, to be reduced, and that is why the prices at which government is charging on these services, they are very affordable, they are very small for the citizens to come, for the citizens to have that affordability in buying them. Then number six, generation of revenue. From these corporations, government is also generating revenue from it. So government is going just generating revenue from it. Then number seven, there is continuity. So when public corporations are established in one time, so any in maybe in a system of in one system of government, maybe for example now, in one maybe during the time of one government, let's say during the time of Buhari government now, any government that succeeds Buhari will also continue in financing such corporations. So and that's how we say there is continuity in the what in public corporations. Then number eight, accountability to the public. So accountability, public corporations are accountable to the public by whenever after every financial period they go to House of Senate in disclosing all what they have done in office to the House of what House of Senate. So it makes them to be accountable to the people, because they will give the account of their stewardship to the Senate, and by that people will be able to say that yes, this is what they are realizing as capital in the corporation. So let us now look at the merit of public corporations. One, it requires large capital. We have said that. For example now, government is spending huge amount of money on electricity and some other services like that. Then another one, government interference. Government can interfere in the activities of public enterprise through the appointment of unqualified and incompetent people as board members. So because of government interfering in the activities of public corporations, it now make the government to be appointing unqualified and incompetent people as board members, because they believe that those that help them to attain the power of government, they are going to be appointing them into positions, and by this now they will now those that are being appointed now will lack merits. They will the principle at which they are going to use in appointing people into positions will be on favoritism. It should not be on merits. Number three, inefficiency in operation. Lack of operation can bring about inefficiency in business operation. We have said that most of these public corporations, they are conferred with monopoly power, and when there is no competitor with them, then it will make them to be inefficient. Number four, corruption and management. Many public enterprises in Nigeria have become the major areas of investment and mismanagement of the nation's resources. So most of the businesses, most of public corporations, the people there, they are corrupt. They embezzle public fund, and that is why most of the public corporations, most of them are folded up. So because of what, the problem of embezzlement and mismanagement of what, of public fund. There was a time that we heard that snake swallow money. So when the leader of that particular parastatal knew that he might be checked concerning all the money they have realized in the parastatal, he now make a kind of lies in telling what the government that what the snake has swallowed the money that they have realized. So then bureaucratic tendencies and rent tapism. The decision making may be slow because it has to pass through many people or channels before approval. So when we look at these corporations is is very complex, and that is why a lot of problems will be faced in ensuring that what the decision to be taken are reached. So then number six, lack of initiative. This is always exhibited in public enterprises as government functionaries must endorse the programs and policies of the government. So mean that before any policy or programs might be executed, so public corporations need to, there are some government parastatals, there are some stages that are involved in ensuring that what such programs and policies are executed, and that will what waste time and it will not give room to what initiative. Then number seven, lack of privacy. Lack of privacy under, as I've said earlier, that when at the end of every financial period, the directors will go to the House of Parliament in publicizing or in tendering what they have done in office to them. So the profit they have realized, they are going to know. The amount they have incurred, they are going to know. The expense they have incurred, they are going to make it known to the what, to the parliament. And by this now, it does not give room to privacy, to privacy of what, of their business. So inshallah, this way where we are going to stop. We pray that Allah should give us the understanding of what we have discussed and should make us better Muslim. We are going to continue from where we have stopped today, inshallah.